Welcome to the Primetime News here on CBN4. I am your presenter, Sheena Harry. Thanks for staying with us. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has called on Dominicans to utilize his honorary doctorate as an engine for further nation building. The Prime Minister stated that he is dedicating this achievement to the people of Dominica. The Prime Minister returned to Dominica yesterday, where he was received with a massive welcome from his supporters at the Canefield Airport.
To use the occasion, my dear brothers and sisters, to recommit myself to the task of nation building, to the task of improving the lives of so many Dominicans. I shall celebrate this achievement by working harder in the service of Dominica and its wonderful people. I want you to do the same, ladies and gentlemen.
The Prime Minister urged citizens to believe in the capabilities of their country by upholding its laws and respecting its institutions.
Respect its institutions. We have a wonderful island to build. We have the next generation to mold. Let us use the occasion of this international recognition to recommit ourselves to the cause of nation building.
The honorary doctorate was conferred upon the Prime Minister by the Lovely Professional University in Punjab, India. Some of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit's biggest support comes from his cabinet, including Minister of Education Peter Saint-Jean. Here's Shanna Esprit reporting.
Dominica Labour Party Education Minister Peter Saint-Jean says the Prime Minister has earned his latest achievement and as a former education minister has transformed the education landscape in Dominica.
This education revolution has touched every family, every community, every constituency. It has touched every social class, every race, every gender, every age, and I dare say, Honorable Prime Minister, every color.
Saint-Jean added that this revolution within the education sector has restructured access to early childhood education, transformed primary education, and has also opened the doors to secondary education on an even wider scale.
Of democratized tertiary education, that we are now well on our way to having a graduate, a university graduate in every household around this country.
Also making our headlines, one group of people gets overlooked on a daily basis, and that is one of the things that was highlighted during the Zika cleanup campaign. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Environment, Helen Royer, says the elderly and shut-in need to be better taken care of going forward.
All the things that we noticed from the campaign, from doing the home visits and going to the different homes, we got a little resistance in some places because the persons were elderly people, they used to doing their things in their own way, and to them everything they have is good. They don't like to throw things.
Something as simple as collection of water and refreshing the water supply of those who don't have pipe-borne water needs to be addressed.
Actually, somebody would need to empty out what we call jerry cans or their pails or pots, whatever they collect water on, because some of them, that's the best they can do.
And Royer commented that the Ministry of Health and community members should be more responsible for those elderly living alone. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has been the subject of a throng of ridicule by critics after receiving an honorary doctorate from the Lovely University of India. In light of this, the Prime Minister responded to all the critics who questioned the value of his latest achievement. Take a listen.
I do not know why others are getting themselves so flustered over this award. If it has no value, why are they bothered about it? You should not worry about worthless things. If you think that being recognized and honored by the #1 university in the most populated country in the world is not worthy of note, then stop letting it bother you.
The Prime Minister also sent a message specifically to the leader of the opposition party, Lennox Linton.
That it is of concern to all detractors in the United Workers' Party that I got an award and the leader got none. I shall speak to the principal of the Dominica Grammar School tomorrow. And seek out an honorary CXC certificate for the leader of the opposition, Lennox Linton.
The Prime Minister also thanked his supporters for their continued support throughout his 16 years in public life. Police Public Relations Officer Sergeant Pelham John Baptist has sent a strong message to media practitioners and members of the public, warning them to refrain from speculating in the much talked about sexual scandal that's unfolding. According to John Baptist, investigations were launched by the police after receiving information by a 15-year-old female and her family. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force has commenced investigations into allegations of unlawful and inappropriate conduct by 3 adult males, he said. It is hoped that by weekend, the Dominica Police Force would be in a position to shed further light on those investigations and also to advise on any consequent course of action. John Baptist continued, "In the meantime, I would like to appeal to members of the Dominica public, residents at home and abroad, particularly the media, to cooperate with law enforcement by allowing these investigations to run their full course." John Baptist said the administration of justice is hindered when rampant speculation and false words are used to contaminate the investigative process. The police public relations officer said this is important to protect the interests of innocent citizens. And that concludes this evening's Primetime News. As always, we invite you to visit our website, cbn4.com, for all the latest headlines. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Once again, I am your presenter, Sheena Harry. Thanks for watching. Ali and Christopher is coming up with the sports.
Welcome to today's sports report. Ali and Christopher. 2 players from the Petro Caribe Point Michel Football Club have been suspended pending a hearing with disciplinary committee of the Dominica Football Association with immediate effect following their behavior in the match against Itasi United on February 24, 2016 at the Pori playing field. The players are Peter Toussaint and Danny Williams. Meanwhile, the match between Petro Caribe Point Michel and Itasi United, which ended prematurely last week, will be replayed on Thursday, the 3rd of March at the Newtown Savannah from 6 p.m. The semi-finals will now be played on Sunday with a double-header at a venue to be announced. The winner of Thursday's match will take on RC Doctors in the first match, while in the second match, RIC Kensborough will come up against Waukee Rollers. And the curtains will come down in the DFA Flow Premier League when Bafe State Football Club will come up against Caribbean Cool Harlem United at the Pori playing field in Point Michel on Sunday. Bafe State has already secured the second position on 32 points in the Premier League table. Dublin Football Club has already won the title 2 weekends ago with an impressive 36 points. Dublin suffered only 2 defeats in the entire season. And in an effort to giving back to the sport of boxing on the island, boxing coach and Dominican-born Crawford Williams has donated boxing gears worth over £1,000 to the Dominica Amateur Boxing Association here in Dominica. Job Joseph, who is a boxing coach, said that Crawford Williams have been visiting the island of Dominica for the past 10 years and has been close contact with the club.
10 years and been working with the club. And every time he come, he would bring a pair of glove or 2 pairs of glove or helmet or whatever. And also he was a former boxer. He is a former boxer. And also he did both amateur and professional boxing. And he's in love with the sport. And whenever he comes to Dominica, he comes to support the club. And he was born in Dominica, but living in England for over 40 years. And he's back home now permanent. Although he go in and out, but he's back home now permanent. And this time around, he did a big thing for the club, giving us over $1,000 worth, £1,000 worth of boxing gears in the form of boxing gloves, boxing pads, boxing shoes, uniforms, bags, pads, and everything. And it will go a long way for the young men and young women of Dominica in boxing.
When asked about the benefits of this donation made by Crawford Williams, Job Joseph, the boxing coach, had this to say.
Well, first of all, like when we have practice, if I have about 20 boxers at that session, sometimes 10 have to do glove work, and I make the others do something else just to occupy time because we don't have enough gears. But now seeing that we have sufficient gears for the boxers, everybody will take part in the training at one time. So that alone will show you how we are benefited already in that position.
Joseph also informed us that a boxing ring will soon be made available during the course of this year.
And in terms of boxing locally, what is next for the Boxing Association, the young men or young women?
Well, good question. Right now as we speak, the next geese boat that will be coming to Dominica will be coming down with a boxing ring, a professional boxing ring. And our immediate plan, because we have a 10-year plan right now. My 10-year plan is between now and 10 years that one boxer or 2 boxers will represent Dominica in the Olympics. And that's our goal and that's our objective of our club. And when this ring arrives on island, our plan is to have fights every month. Not once or twice a year, but every month. Because that's what the young boxers are lacking in Dominica.
And that was Job Joseph, coach in the Dominica Amateur Boxing Association. 5 matches are on this weekend in the Dominica Cricket Association Intermediate Cricket League. On Saturday, March 5th, Nagico Northern Stars will come up against Summits at the Botanic Gardens, while at the Benjamin's Park, Starlights will battle P.H. Williams Colliho. On Sunday, March 6th, the Point Michel Cricket Academy will play the Sagicor Somerset at Gardens, while just a few meters away at the Windsor Park, Gladiators are set to take on Police Sports Club, who have had a rough start towards their title defense. Dubla United Stars will have a date with Marino Evergreen Sports Club up in the north at the Benjamin's Park. All matches begin at 11 a.m. Earlier today, the Sports Division hosted the 2016 Schools Athletics Championships at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. The meet began early this morning with an opening ceremony where address came from the sports coordinator Trevor Shillingford. 11 schools have registered for this year's meet, which will feature 3 categories: the under-21, under-18s and the under-15. The under-15 category is an added feature to the championships.
Let me take this opportunity to thank you, the schools, for your participation in this very important competition. And I want to also congratulate you, the students, for making it onto your school's team. It is very important that you participate in activities such as this, and this year's championship is specially designed to ensure that our student athletes remain actively involved in the sport of track and field. Many of you will recall that earlier during the academic year, and I speak here of the month of October, we had to abandon the secondary school's Independence Athletics meet due to the passage of Tropical Storm Erika. And many were concerned as to whether our student athletes will get an opportunity to participate in track and field activities for the school year. We have designed this year's championship to also include the under 15 athletes, because we believe that having you go through the entire academic year without an opportunity to participate in track and field would not be good for your athletic development.
President of the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, Godwin Dorset, addressed the athletes present at the Windsor Park and mentioned of a partnership with the sports division and the government in order of lifting the sport of athletics to a higher height.
Today, we are already collaborating very greatly with the sports division, and we are definitely going to move forward with our collaboration to bring the best of athletics to our youth in Dominica. For too long, I believe we have stayed behind, and we have looked at our partner country, neighboring countries move on in front of us. And one of my objective, or the objective of the executive and the members of the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, is to join hands with the people, with the organizations, with the government, all who are in a position to help bring to us in Dominica what is most important for establishing greater development in track and field athletics.
Day 2, that is Thursday, will commence at 12 noon and continue under the lights with competition in events to conclude long jump, high jump, shot put, javelin, 100 meter, 400 meter, 1500 meter, the 4x100 meter and the 4x400 meter relay races. Last year, the Pierre Charles Secondary School topped the boys category, whilst the Northeast Comprehensive School won the girls category. West Indies women tasted their first defeat on tour of South Africa as they wasted 2 handsome partnerships and crashed to a 45-run defeat to the South African women in the final one-day international of the 3-match series. Chasing 236, the Caribbean side twice looked poised to pull off victory but lost wickets in clusters to end on 200 for 8 of their 50 overs. Former captain Marisa Aguilera and opener Shaquana Quinton both struck 40, while wicketkeeper Shamin Campbell struck 27 and DeAndre Doughton made 25. West Indies women lost teenage opener Haley Matthews for 2 in the third over of the innings, with the score on 9, but were bolstered by a second wicket stand of 57 between Quinton and Kishona Knight, who made 18. West Indies women won the series 2-1 after taking the first 2 games of the series. And power hitter Johnson Charles has described the West Indies as an improving side with less than a week before the start of the ICC T20 World Cup in India. Charles played a brilliant match-winning knock as West Indies beat Zimbabwe by 10 wickets to win their 2-match 2020 series 2-0 at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium on Monday night. The powerful opener smashed 92 not out of just 48 balls with 6 big sixes and 10 boundaries to be named man of the match.
Well, definitely, I mean, that's my role, and I just try to play it as much as possible. Tonight we had a good batting pitch. Ball was coming on nice, not much sideways movement. I just decided to just play my game, stick to what I know, and I'm a power hitter, so I did just that. Move from strength to strength. From the first game, we've been improving. This game, we have improved a lot more. We just look to improve more as the games go by, and hopefully we could go into the World Cup with everybody in form, and we could win this World Cup. Well, I just see it as me coming back from my place, and that's just how I see it. With that said, everything is left to the Almighty Father, and that was what He saw was fit. That's what happened. So I'm just going to do what I have to do now I'm here.
West Indies raced to a victory target of 154 without loss after the Zimbabweans made 153 for 7 of 20 overs. The best bowler was Carlos Bradford with 3 for 23, which helped to restrict the innings after a solid start. West Indies head to Kolkata on Monday for official warm-up matches with India and Australia before the match 8th to April 1st. And that concludes the Primetime Sport Report for today. For more information on our stories, feel free to visit our website at cbn4.com. We also have a Facebook page. Log on and like us, and all our stories you will see. For now, I am Alan Christopher saying goodbye.